Hello, OBAR membership. We are here today with the very first OBAR podcast. We're starting today in 2025.
It's morning, so it could be Wake Up with Willo and Donna, and we've got a special guest.
Yeah.
And we have other special guests.
Yes, we do. So we're hoping that this is going to be something that our members listen to on their way to work and that they get a great benefit from it.
And there may be non-members that actually, well, I think it's going to be shared with family members, friends.
We're going to be nationwide. Watch out, Travis Kelsey. Here we come.
Oh my gosh.
So we also have with us Haley Winslow, the chairman of our Government Affairs Committee. Haley, what do you got to say today? Thanks for joining us.
Introduce yourself. Tell the folks out there who you are.
My name is Haley Page Winslow, and I am a real estate agent with Caldwell Banker Seaside. So you guys probably know our firm. Okay. We're not.
I know. Now we got Yeah, but we do appreciate all the time that you've served. Last year as vice chair.
Thank you. Yeah.
We took the trip to Raleigh to meet with legislators, our state legislators, and then
took the train to DC.
Took the train to DC.
Had a great trip in DC and Raleigh. Yeah.
And so this year we're going to plan on doing that. We also are going to be going to Winston-Salem at the end of the month. There we're going to be learning about, additional things that we can do for government affairs here on the Outer Banks. And just to let you guys know, what we do with the government affairs here at OBAR is that we are staying on top of the legislature here in North Carolina and how that's going to affect us here as homeowners and also as people who are trying to sell homes in the area and what's going to affect them, whether good or bad, and kind of lobbying for those things that we feel are important.
We've been involved in everything from the Vacation Rental Act and how it's affecting the short-term rental closings. We've been very involved in that the last few years. Just the whether it's with a property management company or not, the challenges that we face there. Insurance, big there.
I think we call it government affairs, but I think it's community affairs because we OBAR is a big part of the community, and we want to help. Not just our members, but the general community at large. I spoke yesterday to the Southern Shores Boat Club about insurance, and that went really well. There's about 70 people there yesterday morning. Yeah, it's a big crowd. And so, that's part of our community engagement. And we're looking forward to 2025 and having Haley as our chair this year, and we're gonna hit the ground running.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Anything in particular that the Government Affairs Committee, I know the septic rules were a big thing for those that attended the general membership meeting yesterday. We gave a little bit of an overview about some of our successes last year, and those septic rules were huge, which, as you said, Donna, not only help our members, but property owners overall. That saved property owners, tens of thousands of dollars in the future if they were.
The repercussions of that were, we knew they would have been substantial, but I don't even think that we could have anticipated how devastating they might have been for our local economy here and property owners, because that's a lot of money that they were talking about. But anyway, we were successful in that, and so we need to build on that success and keep moving forward.
And the collaboration with the county, with our towns,
absolutely.
Currituck County, not only just Dare County, but Currituck County too, and having a seat at the table. And we always say, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're likely on the menu. And then if real estate is your profession, politics is definitely your business. Because with zoning issues, regulations, we're looking at amendments all the time to zoning regulations. Housing right now, Kill Devil Hills, and just made front page of the Coastland Times and about the amendments there with housing. And so there's always something going on, and if we're not paying attention, sometimes things happen and we say, hey, wait a minute, when did this happen? And I found that we've kind of headed things off at the pass in some instances.
I think that's safe to say.
Burdensome for us, and it does support all homeowners on the other bank. So.
And I think, the important thing to remember is that even though amendments get adopted, and sometimes they might not exactly sync with what our goals and policies are, we do have input, and so we're able to shape them. So they might, what they start out as, they end up in a better format that is, so it's not necessarily a win or lose if they get adopted. It's what the form are and when they're finally adopted, and so that
but it's also hearing from every one of you as well. And if there's something, we've got 6 towns in Dare County, and if there's something that's happening within your town that you're aware of and neighbors are talking about, then please let us know, and the Government Affairs Committee will certainly look at at any of those things.
Tracking down the rumors, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
True or false?
Well, thanks for coming in
Absolutely,
today.
yes.
Absolutely. Let's
Thank you.
absolutely
Hope
effort.
you guys
So I'm here today with Willow, and we have Lee Nettles from the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau and Jeff Schwartzenberg, the Community Engagement Director from the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau, and we are here to talk today about the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau and their long-range tourism management plan and their big Outer Banks Promise. I've taken the Outer Banks Promise. I'm on your long-range management subcommittee that we have. We've been working hard in 2024. We're moving forward in 2025, and so I thought that for our inaugural podcast, we'd have these guys come in here and chat with our membership a little bit today about that promise. I know you guys have been going around to all the towns and talking about that, so tell those folks out there that may not know about the Outer Banks Promise what that is.
Absolutely, yeah. The Outer Banks Promise is our new destination pledge that we launched in June, late June this past year, and basically it's a pledge for people to be inspired to act more responsibly and be better stewards of the Outer Banks. We highlight 7 key promise points. There are several more. We also leave it open-ended, so you can really make your own promise, but it's really designed to showcase what's special, what's unique, what makes the Outer Banks different, and why it's worth protecting in the future. So
that's relevant really for both visitors as well as the folks that live here. It's a good reminder.
Yeah. As we try to just kind of look at the landscape here. We've got the natural environment. We've got a tremendous history, tremendous culture. Really, just kind of the resident vibe and feel here. We're trying to kind of enhance the quality of life for residents and also the quality of place for visitors. But it's just a good reminder of what we can do, the small steps we can take to make a bigger impact.
And this is something that a lot of the other tourism communities in the United States and internationally have done as well, correct? It's not just something, I mean, you had shared with us, what are some of the other ones? I know some of the communities out in Hawaii, out west. And
Aspen, Colorado.
yeah, they're all doing very similar
Sedona,
things.
Arizona, that's kind of where this idea came from. Someone from our community was visiting Sedona, Arizona, and they have a pledge out there and brought it back and said, why can't we have this here? So really it was a community-led initiative and idea that kind of grew from there, and it's still in its infancy. We launched it, like I said, right before the busy start of the season here in late June, so we really made a point to introduce it to our local community first.
Right.
We were strategic about that. We wanted the local community, A, to know what it was, and B, kind of to get the buy-in and really just kind of expose them to it before we went wider with our visitor audience.
And I think it ties into that trend of that what is it you guys use, the what's the term? Tourism, yeah. And where people are now traveling, and when they travel, they want to have a reason or something to do when they're there to feel good about that and contribute back to the community while they're there. And so that promise ties into that. Because we all know that, the Outer Banks is a special place, and there seems to be this affinity that people who come here, they want to come back again. And then, it amazes me how I see so many out-of-state license plates for people who, advertise their affiliation with the Outer Banks. And so I think this just builds on that, and I think that there's a lot to be said for that, because it helps people feel connected to the Outer Banks, and that they can, say, well, I took the Outer Banks Promise. And I think that's what part of what you guys are doing is you're challenging people to do that, so they can say, yeah, I took the Outer Banks Promise. And what, do they get a little sticker or something?
Yeah, sticker. We've got some promo items. It really is just the benefit of the goal of this is really to deepen our relationship, as a local community with our visitors, and to kind of showcase that, everyone, whether you live here or you visit here, has a greater responsibility to protect and keep this place special and unique. And that's really what the promise is all about. It's that, trying to bridge that gap between our resident and our visitor population. And it's a really good way for visitors who love this place to love it even more, without loving it to death, but really to be responsible and kind of strengthen that connection that they have here.
To be responsible and respectful of not just the environment, but the local people that live there, that are serving them in the restaurants, and be kind. That's part of the promise too, is be kind, be respectful of the environment, stay on the path, don't do anything dangerous, but pick up your trash and things like
Sure.
that. So where can folks find more information about the Promise on your webpage?
Yeah,
Correct?
obxpromise.com. We've got about a 1-minute video that features local community members kind of in their element, showcasing to the world what makes the Outer Banks special to them, and that really speaks volumes. So we've got a video there. We've got the 7 promise points. Again, you touched on it briefly, but the main tenets are kindness, responsibility, respect, and safety. But there is also an open field in there. You can literally go in. It takes just a matter of seconds, but you can make your own promise. I wanted to leave it open-ended and let people interpret it how they felt and how the Outer Banks makes them feel, and what's special about the Outer Banks to them. So there's that opportunity too, and we're going to continue to grow that page and kind of dig deeper and make deeper connections between those 7 promise points, and go deeper with resources and different ways that they can explore what makes this place special.
It's been awesome to see OBAR's reception to it, and some of the members and how they've taken it on. We've been able to feature several of the realty companies taking the promise as a group. So we'd encourage those that haven't already to get involved. We know that you guys might be just a wee bit competitive, so just see if you can one up one another.
There you go.
It's been great.
Yeah, we've had a really good response. Again, people can make the promise individually, but as Lee mentioned, Outer Banks Blue has made the promise, Twitty and Company, Midget Realty.
Don't forget anybody.
Don't forget anybody, 'cause, yeah.
I mean,
Not
we've
to
had,
mention
but,
me.
Yeah,
That's right.
so if you haven't made the promise, again, individually, but then collectively, you can reach out to me. We're happy to do that. But that is one of the ways in which we're trying to make the local population aware of it. As groups, organizations, businesses make the promise together, you're educating that population of folks here about what it is and why we're doing it. But B, the hope is that those local community partnerships can then help us spread the word to their audiences and take it deeper from there.
Right.
So appreciate your involvement with that.
Absolutely. And so you touched on how you've got some short videos about the Outer Banks Promise, but you also are doing some longer range videos that you guys just had a red carpet event last night,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we did.
At Pioneer Theater. You want to talk about that for a little bit?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Well, first off, the promise is one outshoot or byproduct of the LRTMP, the Long Range Tourism Management Plan. And thanks for your time on that special
Absolutely.
committee.
Yeah.
It's the committee's been meeting for a year now.
Yes,
I
we
guess.
started last year in January.
It's,
Yeah.
the LRTMP overall is a 10-year roadmap that helps us to manage both the positive and the negative impacts of tourism. So it's got 4 strategic goals, one of which is to try and close that gap between the residents and the tourism industry, really. But we've got other things that are more aligned to environmental sustainability, just trying to minimize those impacts, a diversity of housing. We're not shying away from these big items that are obviously going to take more time.
Yeah.
Infrastructure related items. It's a
It's a
monumental
big
task.
push. Yeah.
So one of the things that we did coming out of that was to hire Jeff here to actually, to recognize that we needed a person, at least the community engagement manager, to do just that, to connect the industry with the people that live here. Jeff, you've done a great job taking the promise out on the road. But also, I mean, beyond the LRTMP, we have fundamentally changed the way in which we go about business. When we were getting the LRTMP together, we started seeing the handwriting on the wall. We were coming out of COVID and it was obvious that more wasn't the answer. And we started thinking really hard about how can we do more tangible good in the community. We always talk about the 2.15 billion in direct visitor spending, huge number, over 12,500 jobs, which is half of the jobs in Dare County, big number. The 3,900 in tax relief per individual in Dare County, that's great. All that stuff's well and good, but it ignores the fact that tourism has negative impacts as well that we need to manage. So we changed everything. When we were talking about how we could better use the power of tourism for good, we started thinking about all the nonprofits that are here.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's like
A lot.
upwards of 80 active nonprofits here for our community of 40,000 people, which is amazing. Willow, I think you're on like
This-
55 or maybe. I don't
This
know.
is the most giving community
Yeah.
that I've ever lived in or have had any kind of information
Generosity,
about others.
time,
This is, if there's a need, it is amazing
Yeah.
people coming together to help in
So,
that time.
so we started thinking more about that, and originally we were thinking, hey, our staff can volunteer. That's great, but there's what, 11 of us.
Right.
So what if we took what we do best, which is communicate with visitors, the millions of visitors that come into contact with the Visitors Bureau, and connect them directly with the nonprofits. So that's what we've done. We've created a directory online on outerbanks.org. It's free to give the nonprofits more visibility, and then along with that, we highlighted the ones that had volunteer opportunities, volunteerism.
Right.
And it goes back to what you were saying before. People love it here. They want to get more deeply involved, and volunteering is a way to do it. And when you're doing that, we've got visitors side by side with the people that live here, and it closes that gap. It's a lot harder to throw rocks at somebody that's standing right in front of
Absolutely.
you.
And they make that connection. That's
Yeah,
the big thing.
Yeah,
To
it
make
gives
the
the
connection.
visitor a deeper appreciation of all the work that goes into making this place so special and protecting and preserving it. So it's been great for the visitors, but it's also been great for the nonprofits, extra sets of hands, volunteers, and potential donors. So we've been especially proud of that. It's a step in how we've just fundamentally changed what we do.
Right.
And the other part of that is how we talk to visitors.
Yeah.
I can't wait to share these episodes with you. We're doing a series of 3 premieres. We had 2 theaters full of people in Kildare Hills. Night before last, a full theater at the Pioneer with the red carpet. Michael Bass and I
Nice.
rolled it out for us. It was
That's
great.
right. Yeah.
Full theater. And we're going down to Hatteras Island, the Cape Hatteras Secondary School tonight, the auditorium there for the premieres. 6 videos, long format. They're each about 9 minutes long, featuring different things about the Outer Banks that we all love and that we need to protect and preserve. They are not ads. They feature 20 interviews with 20 local residents sharing their passion for the Outer Banks and their special connections with the Outer Banks. It's just a different way of going about it. They aren't ads. It's terrifying as a marketer. They're putting these things out and they aren't ads. But what they are really, I think, is more intimate views on the Outer Banks and what makes it special. And it's really kind of challenging the visitor, I think. It's sort of like inviting somebody into your home. And when you do that, you have an expectation that they're going to have respect for the place and they're going to take care of it. So
Right. That's a
it's
good
exciting.
analogy.
There's
Yeah.
a lot going on.
But in one of the videos, that maybe not this set with the 20 people that you interviewed, but there was also some collaboration with some of those nonprofits, because I saw one of the videos that you guys did with the Beach Food Pantry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the favorite our
We
our
just
president of
we
the
just
outer
raised
Christy,
$500 yesterday.
Christy
Just
Bryant,
at one
yeah.
general membership meeting to contribute to.
yeah,
the
the
Banks.
president of OBAR this year. That was her. So that's her. She's involved with that, and so that's a connection. I was just thinking about that when we were here, because that was a great video. He went in and he highlighted, what they do there at the Beach Food Pantry.
It
Yeah.
lets people know more about the area, and for those people that live here, you know all too well, it's not always easy, and especially if you're in the hospitality industry, the job may not be to the level of pay that you would like, but you live here because you love it. And years ago, this takes me back to an initiative that we tried to get off the ground with Blue Green Outer Banks and recycling and having vacation rental homes, that offered more in sustainability, and being designated in their promotion and marketing for that. We came up with we love the Outer Banks. Whether you've been here, come here, you're here because you love the Outer Banks. And, you love the Outer Banks, quote unquote. This sounds like a big group hug to me. It's we love the Outer Banks, hug it while you're here. And, help out a nonprofit, be involved, make a difference, because tomorrow does matter. And we never know, from one day to the next where our landscape will be. So it is a truly special place, and it is just, so wonderful to see.
The
this happening.
nonprofits really bring that to life.
Yes.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great example. We did a series of videos with Caleb Owolabi of person we brought in, and he actually participated in the volunteer projects at different nonprofits around town.
Nice.
And it was a great way to highlight the nonprofits, but also it's an example of how we've changed what we do with everything that we do now, with PR, with social. We've been highlighting, we come at it thinking or asking the question, is there a way to tie this to a nonprofit?
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing about it is it doesn't just feel like the right thing to do. It's not just a feel good.
Mm-hmm.
When we do these posts online, they're consistently the most popular and most engaged posts that we have. People sharing, commenting, getting involved in it. So we believe it's good business too.
Well, you know, for years, and going back to this contributing to the community, you know, leave it, you know, better than when you came kind of thing, or leave it as good as better. Our realty companies, property management companies, for years had been collecting non-perishable goods. After someone's leaving, you know, you got all those extra groceries, canned goods, and collecting them and doing that. So there was even that going way back with the folks that are members of our association. That
Such a giving community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Outer Banks Promise, we got the videos. What else do we have going on in 2025? That's all things the Visitors Bureau there. And what trends are you guys seeing? You want to chat a little bit about that, or?
Sure. I mean, your membership probably knows as well as I do that, you know, we've been coming off of those COVID highs for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Business has been settling. It felt like 2024 was what I was believing was the new benchmark or the new normal.
Right.
But you know, it's been a reset for sure. From what we understand, those spring and early bookings on peak season are looking pretty good. So we're optimistic. And then just in terms of what's coming up, 2025, we've got the 50th anniversary of Dare Arts and the 50th of Jockey's Ridge as well.
Big events, yeah. The Jockey's Ridge event, yeah. I was reading something about that just recently in the I forget where it was now, but anyway, yeah, I know that's been getting a lot of press. And that's all that I have to talk about today. Yeah.
Actually, I just had a meeting with Paul Jameson and Commissioner Steve House about the 125th anniversary of Flight, which will take place in 3 years. And so they're already starting to gear up for that.
And that'll be here before we
That's
know
another
it.
big. I said, well, they build that pavilion back at the Wright Brothers Monument because that was a great place to hold events. We were just event
The bathrooms
space
are still there.
They are. That's great. But hey, you know, where's the galas happening these days?
Not in the bathroom.
I miss my galas. Yeah, but so
and we've got the 250th of our country.
Oh my gosh, there's that too.
Yeah.
There is
There's
some
work being
attention
done
to
too,
that.
What do you call that?
Yeah.
The 250th.
Bicentennial plus 50.
It's more. We'll keep it 250.
It's that plus
Let's
50.
come up with a name
That's
for
right.
the OBAR podcast.
And we
Yes.
need, and then we need the
250th.
250th.
Yeah.
250th, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we can Google
We
that
can
and find
come up
that
with
out.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's good to hear encouraging news for the market this year. Vacation rentals. I know our property management director, Carrie Bateman, has been working with you also and seeing what may be able to be done with the property management companies like it is with the hotel motel folks. So we are working on that. Lots of stuff
Trying
going on
to
behind the
introduce
scenes.
a booking engine on
Yes.
outerbanks.org that would be commission free to all the vacation rental companies. But again, trying to take advantage of the fact that we've got millions of people coming to the website. If we can make that sale for you guys or make the handoff at the very least. We don't want to finalize the transaction. You guys are going to be the merchant of record. We want you to have that relationship and all that. But
So
we can
wow,
help,
we've
then
got
let's
you
do
here.
it. Okay.
Let's just, and the camera's rolling.
Man, I feel like this is I feel like this is Columbo.
So-
There was
One
no
more
setup,
question
yeah.
for
So
you.
there's a very high rated show on Netflix. Okay. That just happens to have the name Outer Banks, which I think when I started seeing folks from California buying property here, I was just like, that's because of that Netflix show, right? Have we ever thought, or have you contacted those folks about having an event here? I mean, I know it doesn't look like where they're filming, but somewhat, but have an event here to You know, I'd like to see Chase Stokes and Kelsey Howard.
There it is. I
Okay,
thought-
that's why.
I thought we
But
were
where
getting
you're-
there.
But like,
Yeah.
to say, why don't you come to the real Outer Banks, or why
Yeah.
don't we celebrate something like Outer Banks on the Outer Banks, or you know, how about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
The real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or they could do a reality show, the real Outer Banks.
Spin-off series.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
we've definitely tried to leverage that relationship on our website. I know that some of you all have as well.
Yeah.
There have been some of those conversations. I mean, the producers and all that have gatekeepers that.
Stop you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't get
Whatever.
any further. But I mean, let's see if we can't go
Yeah.
around and get like
I
Chase
mean, where
Stokes,
there's a
just
will,
to-
there's a
just
way.
to have a signing or something at the movie
Yeah.
theater.
We-
I don't know.
We started off the event at the Pioneer last night with that full theater, and I said that if you're here to find out what happens to John B. or the treasure, you're at the wrong Outer Banks.
That's
So-
right. I have
place.
found it comical, you know, when I see on certain business marquees that you cannot take a ferry to Raleigh from here. You know,
Right.
you can't take a ferry to
Right.
the Museum of History from here.
I don't know. We got the LRT&P work with the
Hey.
transportation.
There you go.
Yeah, you never
Maybe,
know.
maybe, it'll come
Maybe
into play.
maybe it will come into
There
play.
you go.
Yeah.
But yeah. Outer Banks, here you are.
Here we are. Yeah.
Well, it's certainly
That's right,
ratcheted
we love
up the
it.
notoriety for sure. I mean,
Right.
folks I talk to and tourism rolls across the country, you know,
Mhm.
they
Are you
they
from
know
the
where we
Outer
are.
Banks?
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Do
mentioned
you
the
know
Outer
that?
Banks.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
right.
Oh, we
Can you get that autograph?
exactly
Yeah.
exactly.
That's funny. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, Lee, Jeff, for coming in
Yeah,
for
thanks
our
so much for
inaugural
having us. Thank you.
podcast.
Where do we break the champagne bottle?
Yeah.
Well, you know, how about
Let's
just a
see.
coffee cup since it's
That's
before
right.
noon? Yeah, yeah.
My job.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us.
Try
You got
to
her
keep
co-
it-
Appreciate it.
absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
and we'll probably have you back sometime next year. Once we
Right.
have our name, we can
Yeah.
come in and
Oh,
let you
it's
know
early
our name.
2025.
Yeah.
We can have them back again.
Absolutely.
Let's follow up. Let's see what's
Yeah.
happening.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Enjoy the
appreciate
rest
it.
of your day. Good luck
Thank
with
you.
your
Best of luck,
for
y'all.
the premiere
So,
tonight. Now that our
yeah.
guests are gone, Willa, let's
Yeah.
update our membership on what a couple of exciting things that we've got going on.
Oh
I
my
know
gosh, we didn't announce this
yeah,
yesterday at the
yeah,
general membership
yeah.
meeting, and
Yes, I know. Sure have.
you know, yeah,
There was
we're
just a lot
we're
going
missing
on,
it.
yeah.
Hey, OBAR membership, we are the recipient of
Not
not
one, but two. That's right.
$3,000 grants from the National Association of Realtors. This is the first time ever that we've gotten grant funding from, and it helps when you've hired a former grants manager with the Outer Banks Community Foundation. Scout Shillings,
Absolutely.
we love
Scout,
you.
yeah. Scout's the girl.
So we've gotten a $3,000 grant for something that you're involved in.
Yes, the their Community Housing Task Force. Yeah, their report had a couple of recommendations in there to produce a toolkit of house plans for property owners and local government to use, a flyer on land use processes. And so we applied for a grant for that. We got $3,000 for that. I mean, we submitted it, I think that right before the end of the year, and
You
I've
had
already
to,
heard back. Yeah.
apply. So it was a first come, first served basis.
Yeah.
So in the past, when we've looked at these grants, you know, they've already run out of money by the time we've went to apply in the past. And so we were on it this year,
Yeah.
and we jumped right on it and got that. And then also with a $3,000 grant for fair housing. April is Fair Housing Month, and so we have typically gone to towns in the county to adopt a proclamation.
Right.
You know, identifying April as Fair Housing Month, and to look at other initiatives, and we have promoted professional development opportunities
Right.
during April for Fair Housing
Important
Month.
stuff.
Well, there is something called Bias Override. It is a class that we are going to be offering in April, Bias Override, but it's not just a course, so to speak. It's an educational opportunity for our members, and also I think we're going to invite some elected officials in as well, and kind of have a community conversation on what bias, implicit bias is. And so it's called Bias Override. So we got funding to help us with that project.
That should be exciting. Yeah, I think that there's probably an application for that beyond our membership, just because people probably don't understand.
Right.
They think that it's one of those things that they think they understand, but they
Right.
might be
I'm not
surprised
biased. I'm
with-
not this, but
Yeah, they might
it's,
be
it's very
surprised.
surprising
Yeah.
when going through the process what you don't realize, you know, in the areas that you
Yeah.
do have a bias,
Yeah.
just because of your upbringing, your relatives, your environment when you were younger. You know,
Your
things
past
we learn as a
history, yeah.
child do impose some type of implicit bias.
Yeah. So anyway, two exciting things
Yeah,
there.
That's
yeah.
very exciting. Oh my gosh, it is. You know, we are recording this on January the 10th.
That's
Yesterday
January
we
the
had our
10th.
general membership meeting. There was a portion of that meeting, we had Chairman Bob Woodard there.
Yeah.
Great job on an overview of the county, what's happening down in Hatteras with the
Bucks and Beach
environmental
cleanup, yeah, that's an important thing.
and we were looking at, we did have a little bit of information you shared about the insurance hearing.
Right, the insurance hearing, I checked their webpage just Wednesday evening before the general membership meeting, and the last day of testimony was December the 6th. You know, they post them the day after, and so
Well, I'm interested in
I
seeing
don't-
what comes out
I
of
don't
that.
know when they picked that back up. It's been kind of hit or miss. You know,
Yeah.
when they started it in October, they went pretty steadily for a couple of weeks, and then they dropped off for like the month of November. And so,
So this is the hearing on the proposed
yeah,
property
it's-
insurance, the homeowner's
yeah,
insurance
there
rate
doesn't
increases.
seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. Once the hearing's closed, whenever that is, Commissioner Causey has 45 days to make the ruling. But, you know, last year this time we were gearing up for the public
We had a
comment
call for
portion of
action.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, we had a call for
yeah,
action
and
on
so
the
it's
property
been a
insurance rate.
long time, and so it just seems
So
like
many-
it's dragging out.
So many
yeah.
companies are using what's called consent to rate, and
That they-
do
that
the
they're not
rate
worried about
filings
it,
even
yeah.
matter anymore? And that's kind of where we're at right now. And we are hearing from folks that you know, the cost of insurance is definitely impacting their ability to maintain their mortgage.
No doubt about
it's
that.
just, where do you find that at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Where do you find the money to pay that? So, you know, we're watching that. I have seen a few articles out there about, you know, what people are not talking about is this rising cost of property insurance, and where are we going to be in 10 years?
Well, I think, you know, where are we going to be in 10 months with this
Right.
catastrophic fire that they're having
Oh my
out in
gosh.
California? I was watching the news coverage last night, and it's just thousands of homes. And my husband said to me, where are those people going to live? And my response was, well, we're already under a housing crisis.
Mhm.
It's just going to be, you know, worsened by that, and then that's going to have, you know, impact on construction goods and
It's-
consumer goods. It's just
I can't wrap my head around
no,
it.
I
just
can't either. The impacts of that are going to be felt nationwide.
And to the insurance companies. And so
Yeah.
there, I know insurance companies in California, there's like, we have the wind exemption, right? Like you have to go to another policy just for wind. And I know for earthquakes, that was the case
Right.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know about wildfires.
Yeah.
Were wildfires even covered? And how devastating to find out that you've just lost everything and you might not have coverage. But
Yeah.
that's going to be that catastrophic. I mean, we are talking mega catastrophic loss, not just catastrophic. Mega catastrophic loss. How that, I don't think reinsurance can even. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it. That's a story for a different day. But
Yeah.
the just the impact of that, the people that have been impacted, you know, and you know, the folks in Western Carolina are still suffering, and we're
Right.
trying to do all we can to help those folks. And you know, we're very fortunate looking out the window here, up here on the second floor of the Outer Banks Association of Realtors office. It's cold, but you know, we are not dealing with
With a natural
anything what these
disaster.
other
Yeah.
folks are dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's you know, you count your blessings. And
Absolutely. Every day.
Yep.
Every day.
so other things we have going on. It is the beginning of the year. It is in
Yeah.
January. We want all of our members to know that, are you out there doing good deeds in the community that are making a difference in the community? We do have a Good Neighbor Award program that is kind of similar to the one that NAR has. It's modeled after, you know, their Good Neighbor program. And you can nominate one of your peers to win
Be
the Good Neighbor
recognized.
Award, be recognized, and we contribute $250 towards their charity.
No.
And so definitely, if you have a coworker, and it can't be a firm doing something, it has to be the individual member that is out there in the community volunteering, serving maybe with an organization, and doing some good deeds to make a difference, then let us know about them. We want to highlight them and support their charity, and get them recognized, not only at a general membership meeting, but get them in the paper and let the community see what good deeds our members are doing. And so we have that. We have, oh my gosh, what other things are happening? We've, oh my gosh, it's going on and on and on. We're in the process of doing a BIC audit, a broker in charge
Okay.
audit.
You guys got a leadership conference
We
at the
got
end of the month?
leadership conference coming up. We will be going to Raleigh, and our leadership will be attending. Our new directors will be attending, and learning all about how to, you know,
How to be a
how
leader.
to handle, you know, board meetings, be a leader. And we'll hear some information from the North Carolina Realtors about what's happening. And our next meeting with them will be in April.
Right.
And we'll be taking some folks from the Government Affairs Committee. Haley Winslow, you heard from her. She'll
Right.
be going. This is where we network with others from across the state, and it's great to talk to people and say,
Talk
hey,
to our
is this
legislators,
happening
yeah.
in your neighborhood? What can we do here? And also to meet with our legislators. And then in May, we go to DC.
Yeah, and in North Carolina General Assembly, they were sworn in on Wednesday, and they reconvene at the end of the month.
Okay.
So we'll see what kind of good work they're doing for us this session
There you
as
go.
they start out.
And we have a bowling tournament coming up.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You talked about that.
We
at the
have
gym
a
membership.
bowling
Yeah.
tournament coming up. So a couple years ago, we started branding the Surf, Turf, and Roll
I love that.
kind of theme for our 3 charitable events for the year. Our surf fishing tournament in October. Our turf is our golf tournament, which will be held in, I believe it is May.
Mhm.
I think we're having it in May. We tried to do it in June. And then our bowling tournament will be March 14th, the same evening as the day of the State of the County meeting that will be held at Captain George's.
I
Woodard
talked.
said yesterday
I
was
know.
March 14th.
I talked to Dorothy Hester yesterday afternoon after the meeting, and she told me a different date, and I
Oh.
said, Dorothy.
I thought it was this month for
Yeah,
some reason,
no,
but he said March 14th.
anyway,
So anyway, that's
anyway,
a Friday.
She said that
I'm
there's
surprised.
press release coming out about
Okay,
it. So
might not be March 14th.
We'll let folks know what the day is
Okay.
and when the registration opens because it fills up pretty quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do know Friday, March 14th will be our bowling
We
tournament.
know
and
that date for
Our
sure.
Surf, Turf, and Roll
Yeah.
series of 3 charitable events benefit the Outer Banks Community Foundation. Our funds with the Outer Banks Community Foundation, which is the Disaster Relief Fund,
Mhm.
and also the scholarship fund that we have. And as a matter of fact, scholarship applications open next week. You do not have to be a Realtor member. You know, it doesn't have to be the child of a
There's
Realtor
no
member
affiliation
to
there,
apply for that scholarship. So we gave out 8 scholarships last year in the amount of $1,500 each.
That's tremendous.
And we have given close to $300,000.
Yeah, that's
not
tremendous,
More,
yeah.
in scholarships over the years to graduating seniors in Dare County. And it doesn't have to be in the public school system. It can be a private school, etc. that can apply.
So a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Yep, and we'll keep everybody up
That's
abreast
right.
on
We're
what's
just busy
happening.
little bees,
Yeah.
but what are we doing? We should call this the TCB podcast.
Taking care of business. I
That's right.
love that.
We are
Yeah.
taking care of business. TCB with Obar.
That's right. There you go.
There you go.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.